People that see a problem and say, I am going to find a way to fix this or do it better. Or they see an opportunity to do something no one's ever done before. Every economy needs that. Every place in the world we need problem solved. Entrepreneurs go to market quickly, right? Unlike big companies, we can move a lot faster. When we have a good idea, we can turn it into something and take it to the market quickly. So again, I'm just giving you the reasons why we are here today, because all of us have to work together to support entrepreneurs for all these reasons. We already said entrepreneurs create jobs in every industry when they launch new startups, and they create value that stimulates economies. So entrepreneurship is important to all of us. We all have to work together to support entrepreneurship, and you heard Ovi and others use the word ecosystem. That's what we're going to work on these 2 days. Between government, between private sectors, investors, entrepreneurs, universities, all of us together build an ecosystem that helps entrepreneurs who have great ideas turn them into businesses that create jobs and value and change the world. It happens every day, everywhere, and it will continue to happen here in Algeria. I see TJ just walked into the room when we were, I'm going to call him out just for a second because he picked us up at the airport yesterday. Talking about you. Picked us up at the airport yesterday, but what was pretty fascinating to me, and which I love to see, was an entrepreneur that actually went west to get education, but came back here to his home country to build his companies. And because now he has the support and the infrastructure, better at least than it used to be, for him to be able to run his companies here in the region. So I think you're going to hear from him, but I think that's a fantastic story. So I'm going to tell you something that happened recently to me that was kind of interesting about how things are changing. I got a call from a school, and the school said, we would like you to come speak at Career Day. And it was interesting to me because I said, I would love to, but I don't really have a career in the terms that we are used to thinking. Career Day at schools is usually professionals. It's a doctor, right, or a lawyer, or a nurse, or professional occupations that people are usually trained that that's what they go into, and that's who speaks at Career Day. So it was very interesting to me because my friends always say, they always think of entrepreneurship as something you do when you don't have a career. And I used to think, wait a minute, I do this because I want to, not because I don't have something else to do. So it was very interesting to me that the world is starting to recognize entrepreneurship is a choice, it's a career, it's a profession. In the same way that, my friend might say, I'm a lawyer proudly, I now say I'm an entrepreneur proudly. It used to be that they would say, what are you doing? And I would say, working on some stuff. Okay, because that's what entrepreneurs do. Now people understand it. But let's take a minute and talk about, for all of you that might be thinking about, either you are an entrepreneur or you're thinking about becoming one, and what does that mean and why? And I've got a slide after this where I'm going to talk about the reasons you should be an entrepreneur, or that you might choose to do that. Okay, actually, the question is, can I speak slower? And the answer is no. That's all I got. But I will try, anyway, to go a little bit slower. I get excited about this topic, obviously. So I want to tell you guys the story behind me was just for perspective. It was the day I realized I needed to be an entrepreneur. So I was at work at a big company at the time, and my boss, I was thinking about my career and my future, and in the end, what my life will be sort of judged on business-wise, just talking about the business part. And my boss walked over. This was a big company, and I was on a floor with lots and lots of cubicles, and everybody at work. And the boss came, and he said, Jeff, can I talk to you for a minute? So I said, sure. And he walked me over to the window, and he pointed out the window. Now, behind us are all these cubicles, and everybody is doing this. Everybody's looking over the edge, because the boss is here, and they want to hear what's going on. And he said to me, he pointed outside, and it's a parking lot, and he said, what do you see out there? And I thought this might be some kind of trick question. I don't know what's out there, but I took the best guess. I said, cars? And he said, yes, that's right. So I was proud, right? I got one right, like the boss. And I was doing this to my friends who were all peeking behind me. And I don't have any idea what we're talking about yet. And he said, you're right, cars. And I said, okay. And he said, to me, he said, you know, there's a promotion. They called it at that time, it was a level 28 job promotion in our company that was available. And he said, do you want to get ahead at this company? And I said, of course. And he said, do you want to succeed here? I said, yes. And he said, then do you want that promotion? I said, everybody in here wants that promotion. And he said, well, let me tell you how I judge people, how I know who to give the promotion to. He said, every day, late in the day, at the end of the day, I come to this window and I look outside. And he said, what do you think I'm looking for? And I'm thinking, well, it worked last time, cars. So he said, yes, that's right. So I was telling all my friends, I got 2 right out of 2 questions. And I waited to hear what the point was. And he said, every day I look to see whose car is here last so I can decide who's going to get that promotion. And I said, whose car is here last? And he said, yes, because then I know who cares about this company most. And I said, wait, what if that's the person who can't figure out how to do their work? We all went home because we're done. And he didn't say anything. And then I said, you know, what if, I mean, the rest of the people finished on time. And this person might be struggling, that's why they're still here. And he still didn't say anything. And he said to me, I hope you've learned something here. And I was thinking, uh-oh. Because he said, that's whoever car here is last, that's how I decide who's valuable. And I sat there thinking, he said, what? I didn't say anything. And he said, what did you learn today? And I said, I'm going to buy 2 cars and just leave one here. My boss said, got very angry, and he said, I suppose you think that's funny? And all the people in the cubicles back had laughed. And I said, I have to be honest, sir, that was kind of funny. And then he just walked away, turned and left, and all my friends were going like this, you'll never get a promotion. So I sat there thinking about, I needed to get out of this environment, and I wanted to be an entrepreneur. But the reasons were not the reasons. When people think of entrepreneurship, unfortunately, they think of people that are just trying to make money. And that is not what it's about. It's not even personal opinion, but when we have movies in the United States like the Facebook movie, The Social Network, that does not send the message that we are here to deliver. The goal is not, let's all try to be the next billionaire. The goals are a lot different for why we get into entrepreneurship. And there are a lot more reasons. First of all, entrepreneurship is not just about making money. Let's talk about what entrepreneurship is really about and why it's a good career choice. Entrepreneurship is about self-determination. All I wanted initially was to be in an environment where I could control my destiny. My boss, who you just heard about, I did not feel comfortable following him over a cliff, because if he said march, we had to march. And if we were marching towards a cliff, we were not allowed to ask questions. Self-determination was important to me. I might make mistakes, but I will make my own mistakes and I will own them. And at least that way I don't spend my life knowing these are bad decisions and doing them anyway. Self-determination is important. Freedom was a really big deal for me. I was not sitting there thinking, I want to make money. What I was sitting there thinking is that I want the freedom to work on things I think are important. I want the freedom to address things that I think might make the world a better place, that might create value. Things like being able to, I have on there taking care of your friends and family. When I was able to create jobs and offer jobs to people I know that needed them in areas where people needed help, that was very important to me. That I was able to create jobs for people who didn't have them. I wasn't sitting there thinking, I want to make another dollar. I was sitting there thinking, I want to make a difference in other people's lives. Entrepreneurship gave me that freedom. It gave me independence. The person that I referenced earlier when I was talking about, again, locally, and when I was visiting other Arab countries, there was a woman that said to me, all I want to do is feed my family and know that I don't have to beg, not literally, but beg others and be dependent on others. I want to take care of my family. I want to take care of my friends and my relatives. That was why this Arab woman wanted to be an entrepreneur, because she wanted to take care of the people in her life. She wasn't trying to be the Facebook person and make a fortune. She was trying to take care of her family and be independent. Those are very important goals that entrepreneurship provides. Leaving a lasting legacy is important. In the end, by far the best part of my day, when I wake up in the morning after doing events like this and making friends with some of you and making connections, is in the morning when I wake up and I receive emails from people in other countries who say, this boot camp I was at actually changed my life. You guys gave me advice, you gave me inspiration, you gave me guidance, and I'm on a path now that I didn't think I could be on. And I do a lot of online mentoring with entrepreneurs all over the world, and when somebody tells us, thank you, you helped me move forward, that's what I became an entrepreneur for. So every one of us has a different goal for doing that. You know, I'll even add, in my case, travel. I actually wanted an opportunity to meet people in different cultures, to stand at the Roman ruins yesterday and talk to some Algerian teenagers. The entrepreneurial lifestyle and hard work is what gave me that opportunity. If I was still working at that company that I was at, I would be standing in a parking lot right now talking to my boss. So entrepreneurship is a lifestyle. It's a commitment to do something bigger than yourself. It's not just about, I want to make money. And I think that's very important that we support entrepreneurship and that you think about, what are your goals? What do you want your life to stand for? What are you trying to achieve? And determine if entrepreneurship is the career that takes you down that path. Now let's talk about